we've nearly had more live action Batman than I can count on my hands, with each one covering a different part of the Caped Crusader. So with all the different interpretations and all the different Gothams that we've seen these Batmen in, what would the DCU's Batman have to do to stand out above them all? Let's look back at the live action Batman of the past. In 1943, Lewis Wilson was the first to take on the mantle of Bruce Wayne and Batman. In 1949, there was a sequel with Robert Lowry donning the cape and cowl. These are extremely dated, and due to the fact that Batman as a character was still relatively new, there was some creative liberty that the writers could take. So despite the uncanny feeling you'd get watching this, it gave us some crucial parts of the character. Alfred's appearance as a more slim character was inspired by these movies, and these movies were also the first time that the Batcave was ever given a name. Then in the 1960s, we get Adam West's Batman, which I have a soft spot for in my heart. It's so wacky, doesn't take itself seriously, and is so clever when it comes to making fun of the wackiness. Cesar Romero is also a cool Joker in my opinion, and you should definitely watch my old video on him.
Oh my goodness!
But this Batman is very campy and doesn't take itself serious. In 1989, we get Michael Keaton's Batman, which continues on through George Clooney and Val Kilmer. These movies, in my opinion, were the closest that we've gotten to something feeling like Batman ripped straight from a comic book in live action. You know, besides the murdering. Batman had a vibrant rogues gallery, and he had a bunch of high-tech tools and vehicles at his disposal. So it's cool to watch these movies, despite the average writing and dated CGI. Then we got the Dark Knight trilogy, which most consider to be peak Batman. It was the first modern and grounded take on Batman, basically doing a character study on the man beneath the mask as he took down different villains. Christian Bale's Batman was great, but he was so grounded that a whole element of Batman, being his physical prowess, was nearly ignored. Obviously, he was a very skilled fighter, but compared to other Batmen, he's not that strong. Then, in the edgy world of the DCEU, we were presented with Ben Affleck's Batman, a seasoned crime fighter with more baggage than any other Batman we've talked about. He's brutal, doesn't pull punches, and for some reason also murders people. He's not the best representation of Batman as a character, and feels more like someone else who kidnapped the real Bruce Wayne and took his place. But Ben Affleck's Batman was in an awesome world with powerful allies and even more powerful threats. I constantly think of that scene of him dodging Doomsday's beams in Batman v Superman. And I will die on the hill that Ben Affleck's Batman gave us the best action we've seen from a live action Batman. Next, we have my personal favorite, the Batman. Robert Pattinson's Batman is even more grounded than The Dark Knight. It's a detective thriller in a city that always rains. There's not villains with wacky gimmicks. There's people mad at the world, looking for some way to cure their anger. And Batman, he's just a regular dude, you know, with depression. He learned how to fight with Alfred and goes around solving crimes, fighting when he needs to. He's the most grounded Batman we've been given. Now, if I were to simplify Batman into 3 traits, being character, detective skills, and fighting ability, you could look down this list of Batman and find one that portrays one of these traits nearly perfectly. The Dark Knight trilogy and the Batman do a great job of deep diving into the mind of Bruce Wayne. The Batman is all about the detective side of Batman, but both of those Batmen are relatively weak physically, especially when comparing them to Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck's Batman. Those two are strong, powerful Batmen with tons of tools and gadgets to take on any type of threat, but they suck in other aspects. Keaton's a little bit less than Ben Affleck's. If you're following though, you can pick up that each one of these Batman are lacking at least one specific trait that makes Batman Batman. One trait that makes Batman the character that we love. Whether it be the broken mind of Bruce Wayne, his moniker as the world's greatest detective, or his ability to stand against godlike beings as just a human. Like Christian Bale or Robert Pattinson's Batman couldn't go up against any type of threat comparable to Doomsday. Hell, Christian Bale's Batman can't even go up against an actually strong Bane. And Michael Keaton's world focused heavily on the fantasy side of things, not wanting to dive too far into the detective side of Batman. So I ask again, what would the DCU's Batman have to do to stand out? He would have to be a live action Batman that we haven't seen before. One that proudly coins the name world's greatest detective. One that doesn't shy away from exploring the ill mind of Batman. And one that will take down thugs on the street and then turn around and stand face to face with Darkseid. One similar to the DCAU Batman. If we get something like that, we may have a new candidate for the best Batman of all time. But yeah, let me know what you think of what I had to say here. Let me know what you want out of the DCU Batman. Would you want something similar to the DC animated universe Batman? Or do you want something different? What would that different be to you? Let me know down in the comments. Hit the like button if you like what you see here. Hit subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, thanks for watching.